before humans conquered the planet's highest peaks, before science understood life on the roof of the world, there already existed a kingdom where only the strongest could breathe and survive. In the heart of the Himalayas, amidst eternal snow, thin air, and infinite abysses, the lords of the mountains move in silence, dominating a territory where every step can be fatal. Welcome to the Himalayas, the king that rules over the highest peaks in the world. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can talk together. Let's begin. Below the Himalayan mountains, where humid forests mix with grasslands and hidden rivers, the Bengal tiger appears as the absolute lord of the lowlands. Its scientific name is Panthera tigris tigris, a powerful subspecies capable of commanding respect even before fully showing itself. An adult male can exceed 220 kilograms, with a muscular body designed for strength, stealth, and explosive short-distance attacks. Its dark stripes break up the shape of its body among shadows, bamboo, tall grass, and damp forest logs. Unlike hunters that rely on long chases, the tiger dominates through patience, cover, and a nearly perfect ambush. Its front paws are enormous, its shoulders concentrate extraordinary strength, and its canines can exceed 7 centimeters. In the forests of the Himalayan foothills, it hunts deer, wild boar, and gore calves when the opportunity appears among the dense vegetation. The tiger detects a deer feeding near a clearing and lowers its body until it disappears into the tall grass. It moves slowly against the wind, placing each paw with precision to approach without breaking branches or alerting the prey. When the distance becomes minimal, the tiger launches itself with brutal power, brings down the deer, and concentrates all its weight on the attack. The hunt ends quickly, because in the shadow of the forest, a single mistake by the prey can decide everything. Its presence exerts constant pressure on large herbivores, forcing them to move, stay vigilant, and avoid areas that are too closed off. Although it dominates as the top predator, it also shares a difficult landscape with clouded leopards, bears, and other large competitors of the forest. In some forest borders, its territory approaches the human world, creating tensions over space, prey, and ancient jungle paths. As a keystone species, The tiger helps regulate deer and wild boar populations, keeping the balance of the lowlands healthier. Under the Himalayas, the Bengal tiger doesn't just hunt among shadows. It sustains the invisible order of a wild kingdom that depends on its power. Above the low forests, where the air turns thin and rocks replace trees, the snow leopard appears as the ghost of the mountain. Its scientific name is Panthera uncia, a feline adapted to survive on cold slopes, steep valleys, and wind-swept ridges. Unlike the tiger of the lowlands, the snow leopard dominates a vertical kingdom where every leap can decide between life or a fall. Its thick, pale grey fur, covered with dark spots, blends with snow, rock and shadow until it becomes almost invisible. Its long heavy tail functions as a rudder during jumps and as a blanket when resting under extreme temperatures. Its wide paws distribute its weight over the snow, while hair-covered pads help it walk silently over rock and ice. At these heights, its main prey includes bharals, blue sheep, mountain goats, marmots, and pikas that live between crevices and impossible slopes. The snow leopard detects a young bharal separated from the group on a rocky slope and lowers its body against the cold stone. It advances soundlessly along the narrow ledge, using rocks, snow, and changes in height to approach without revealing its silhouette. When the distance is reduced, it leaps from the slope with sudden power and directs its claws toward the prey before it can reach another rock. The hunt is decided in seconds, because on the mountain, a minimal loss of balance can change the fate of any animal. Although it rarely shows itself, its presence keeps mountain herds moving and prevents a single species from consuming too much alpine grass. By controlling populations of bharals, goats, marmots, and pikas, it helps sustain the fragile balance of high mountain ecosystems. Its greatest challenge is not always its prey, but habitat loss, conflict with herders, and the reduction of safe wild spaces. In the frozen mountains of the Himalayas, the snow leopard does not rule with roars, but with silence, camouflage, and an almost supernatural elegance. On the steep slopes of the Himalayas arises the bharal, or blue sheep, the most resilient inhabitant of the peaks and the engine of wildlife. Known scientifically as Sudoes Nayor, this 75-kilogram ungulate is the fundamental pillar that sustains the trophic web at the most extreme altitudes. Its bluish-grey fur is a masterpiece of mimicry, allowing it to blend with granite rocks and become invisible to predators. It inhabits precipices up to 5,000 meters in altitude, where it uses its hardened hooves to navigate verticality with supreme agility and precision. It lives in social flocks of up to 50 individuals, relying on collective vigilance to detect any biological anomaly on the alpine horizon. The blue sheep is the preferred prey of the snow leopard, providing the stamina necessary for the large feline to survive the long winter. In addition to the feline, the flock faces the tactical pursuit of the Himalayan wolf, an endurance hunter that tirelessly patrols the frozen plateaus. Vulnerable offspring are the target of the golden eagle, which descends from the sky with a mechanical force of 1,500 newtons to snatch them from the cliffs. As a keystone species, the parrel regulates the growth of alpine grasses, maintaining the dynamic balance of biodiversity on the roof of the world. The blue sheep remains as the guardian of the slopes, the spirit of the rock that ensures the heartbeat of the Himalayas never stops. In the forbidden peaks of the Himalayas, where the air is so thin that every breath is a victory, the world is divided between the abyss and survival. At an altitude of 5,000 meters, where gravity seems like an optional law, dwells the Himalayan tahr, an acrobat with thick fur and an iron will. This 70-kilogram ungulate is not just prey. It is a marvel of evolution designed to thrive where others would only find death. Its hooves are precision tools, with a flexible core that adheres to smooth stone and hard edges that find support in invisible cracks. The tahr lives in constant balance on vertical stone walls, turning granite cliffs into its sanctuary and fortress. However, in this theatre of stone, danger has a silent name: the snow leopard, the grey ghost of the heights. The constant presence of the predator forces the tahr to live in groups, using dozens of eyes to watch every angle of the steep terrain. In alpine grasslands, the group feeds with extreme vigilance, ready to retreat to the most dangerous cliffs at the slightest sign of danger. Communication is vital. A warning snort from a dominant male can set the entire herd in motion in fractions of a second. The hunt ends with the tahr safe in a crevice where no other living being would dare to set foot without falling into the abyss. Each winter, the tahr's fur grows thicker, an armor of wool against the gelid wind that lashes the ridges of the world. Survival here is not a matter of brute force, but of the ability to maintain balance when the whole world is trying to knock you down. The Himalayan tahr teaches us that the safest refuge is often found in the place that everyone else fears to tread. It is the eternal guardian of the heights, a blade of indomitable life engraved forever on the stone walls of the roof of the world. On the desolate plains of the roof of the world, where oxygen is a luxury and the icy wind of the Tibetan plateau carves the landscape, arises a predator forged in adversity. The Himalayan wolf is not a common canid. It is an ancient lineage that has evolved to breathe where other lungs would simply collapse. With dense fur of ochre tones and infinite endurance, this 35-kilogram hunter patrols territories exceeding 4,000 meters in height. In this desert of rock and ice, survival is a war of attrition where every calorie counts and an error is paid with extinction. But the wolves are not alone in this fight. They share the kingdom with the snow leopard, the solitary ghost that stalks from the cliffs. Competition is fierce, as both predators covet the same prey, such as the burrell or the cliff deer, in an environment of scarce resources. While the leopard relies on individual ambush, the Himalayan wolf deploys the unstoppable force of collective intelligence. The pack functions as a coordinated war machine, capable of traveling 40 kilometers in a single night, tracking a group of sheep. They use low-frequency howls that travel through the valleys to gather the warriors and disorient their targets before the attack. In the twilight of dawn, at a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius below zero, the wolves position themselves strategically, surrounding their prey. The trackers scare the sheep toward the open terrain of the plateau, where the leopard's slope advantage disappears. Here, on the frozen plain, begins a pursuit of pure endurance, a race where the wolves' hearts pump oxygen with amazing efficiency. The pack takes turns leading the race, exhausting the lungs of the chosen burrell, while maintaining a constant speed of 50 kilometers per hour. The circle of shadows closes, and the prey's resistance crumbles before the incessant harassment. In a burst of coordination, 3 Himalayan wolves block the path while the alpha launches the final attack on the neck. The fight is brief and efficient. The silence of the high plateau is only broken by the sound of the pack's victory. The success of the hunt ensures warmth for the group, but the vigilance does not end, as the smell of meat attracts other hungry competitors. This rivalry with the snow leopard defines the balance of the ecosystem, a dance of power between solitary stealth and pack tactics. Survival in the Himalayas is not a gift of nature. It is a right claimed every day with sweat and blood under the infinite sky. The Himalayan wolf teaches us that when the environment tries to suffocate you, the unity of the pack is the only breath that matters. They are the strategists of altitude, a grey tide flowing over the ice, reminding us that in extreme cold, no one survives alone. When the spring sun begins to lick the slopes of the Himalayas, the white silence is broken under the weight of a titan emerging from the shadows. The Himalayan brown bear, a rare and majestic subspecies, emerges from its long lethargy with contained strength and an unshakable will. With a massive body that can weigh up to 400 kilograms, this colossus is the largest mammal of these desolate heights. After 6 months of hibernation, its fat reserve has been exhausted, and hunger becomes a fierce engine that dominates each of its instincts. At the beginning of the ephemeral summer, the bear patrols alpine meadows more than 4,000 meters high, searching for any available energy source. It uses its 10-centimeter claws not just to defend itself, but as precision tools to dig up the frozen earth in search of tender roots. With amazing strength, it flips rocks weighing more than 100 kilograms with a single movement, looking for insects and larvae hiding underneath. The brown bear is an opportunistic strategist that does not let food escape, hunting marmots with a patience that contradicts its size. The smell of fresh prey attracts its attention from kilometers away, leading it to a battlefield where danger lurks in every corner. Arriving at an abandoned carcass, the bear encounters a pack of Himalayan wolves that refuse to give up their spoils without a fight. Despite the wolves' numerical superiority, the giant stands on its hind legs, reaching an imposing height of almost 2 meters. A single guttural roar and a blow from its massive paw are enough to displace the competitors, claiming its right as sovereign of the mountain. Feeding success is vital before the temperature drops again to 25 degrees Celsius below zero, and snow covers the world once more. Its existence is an eternal cycle of endurance and power, a lesson in how patience and brute force coexist in the heart of the storm. The Himalayan brown bear teaches us that true greatness is measured by the ability to be reborn with more strength after the darkest winter. Over the cliffs of the Himalayas, the golden eagle glides with open wings, like a golden shadow suspended between wind, rock, and sky. Its scientific name is Aquila chrysaetos, one of the most powerful and respected raptors of the world's mountains. With a wingspan that can exceed 2 meters, it dominates the air currents to monitor huge territories from great height. Its eyes detect minimal movements on rocky slopes, alpine meadows, and burrow entrances hidden among stones. Marmots, pikas, hares, birds, and ungulate offspring are part of its diet in these cold and open heights. The presence of the golden eagle changes the behavior of small animals, forcing them to live near crevices, rocks, and underground shelters. When the eagle detects a marmot far from its burrow, it tilts its wings and fixes its gaze on a single point of the slope. It descends in silence from a great height, using the wind and the slope to gain speed without losing control. In the decisive instant, it dives with tremendous speed and extends its claws toward the prey before it can reach the shelter's entrance. The hunt ends in seconds, because from the open sky, the golden eagle turns height into an advantage almost impossible to overcome. Its attack depends not just on strength, but on calculation, vision, and a perfect reading of air currents. In the mountains, even a shadow crossing the ground can be enough for pikas and marmots to disappear among the stones. As the apex predator of the alpine sky, it helps control populations of small mammals and birds on open slopes. In the elevated landscapes of the Himalayas, the golden eagle doesn't just fly over the mountain, it governs the fear that moves under its wings. In the thermal currents that caress the highest peaks of the Himalayas, a winged sentinel observes the world from an altitude of 8,000 meters. The Himalayan vulture, with a wingspan exceeding 3 meters, is the silent purifier of the most extreme ecosystems on Earth. In this desert of rock and ice, where life is fragile, its role is fundamental to closing the cycle of existence. After harsh winters or the hunts of the snow leopard and the Himalayan wolf, the remains of life become its sustenance. Its eyes are capable of detecting a carcass from kilometers away, even under a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius below zero. From the lower slopes where the Bengal tiger dominates, to the ridges where the golden eagle claims its share, the vulture waits its turn. It does not use force to kill, but patience to find what time and other predators have left behind. When it descends, it does not arrive alone. A congregation of wings gathers in a frenetic dance for survival. Its long, featherless neck is designed to penetrate the most difficult cavities of 100-kilogram animals. By consuming organic remains, it eliminates dangerous pathogens, acting as the mountain's natural sanitary barrier. It can fly for hours without flapping its wings, taking advantage of air currents to patrol hundreds of square kilometers. In the hierarchy of scavengers, its imposing size gives it priority over foxes and ravens prowling the feast. Each bite ensures the energy necessary to return to its nests built on the most inaccessible cliffs. The Himalayan vulture teaches us that in nature nothing is wasted, and that death is the fertilizer for future life. It is the guardian of purity on the roof of the world, a majestic shadow that maintains balance under the infinite sky. Among the veil of mist that envelops the cloud forests of the Himalayas, where moss embraces ancient trunks, dwells a being that seems taken from a fairy tale. The red panda is not a giant of brute force, but a cinnamon and fire-colored gem that hides in the density of the foliage. Weighing barely 5 kilograms, this small mammal is an acrobat of the forest canopy, moving with an almost unreal delicacy. Its dense reddish fur is not just beauty, it is thermal armor against the cold of 3,000 meters altitude, where the temperature is often 10 degrees Celsius. In this realm of constant humidity, the red panda depends on a vital resource that defines its existence: tender bamboo shoots. Its paws are equipped with an extended radial bone, a false thumb that allows it to hold branches with amazing precision while feeding. Despite its peaceful appearance, life in the cloud forest is a delicate balance between abundance and constant danger. From the shadows, the clouded leopard watches with hungry eyes, waiting for a slip-up from the small tree inhabitant. Red panda cubs, vulnerable and slow, are the primary target of massive raptors patrolling the grey sky. The forest silence is broken when a shadow launches from a higher branch, forcing the red panda to react in milliseconds. The danger fades into the mist, but the price of the scare is a waste of precious energy in an environment where food is selective. However, the greatest threat does not come from canines, but from the silent disappearance of its bamboo homes. Every square kilometer of lost forest is a sentence for this mysterious treasure that has nowhere else to go. The red panda is the guardian of the fragility of the Himalayas, a reminder that the purest beauty is often the easiest to break. Its existence teaches us that the value of a life is not measured by its strength, but by its importance in the invisible fabric of nature. In the solitude of the heights, this small being keeps dreaming among the clouds, hoping that the world decides to protect its green sanctuary. To protect the red panda is to protect the very soul of the highest mountains on earth. It is a living treasure walking the thin line between legend and reality in the mystic heart of the Himalayas. In cold mountain forests, the Eurasian lynx moves like a spotted shadow among snow, dark trunks, and moss-covered rocks. Its scientific name is lynx, the largest of all lynxes and one of the most discreet hunters in Eurasia. Its pointed ears carry black tufts that help pick up faint sounds among branches, snow, and movements hidden under the forest. Its wide paws function like natural snowshoes, distributing body weight and allowing it to walk on soft snow with less effort. An adult can weigh between 18 and 30 kilograms, although some large males can exceed that figure in cold regions rich in prey. Its thick fur protects it from the cold, while dark spots break up its silhouette among shadows, bushes, and irregular snow. Unlike the wolf that depends on the pack, the lynx hunts alone, relying on silence, surprise, and short distance. On forest edges and cold slopes, it can stalk hares, birds, small mammals, and vulnerable ungulate offspring. The lynx detects a hare moving near snowy bushes and lowers its body until it is hidden behind trunks. It advances step by step over the snow, placing its wide paws with precision so as not to break the forest silence. When the hare moves away from cover, the lynx leaps from the shadow with a brief explosion and cuts off the escape route. The hunt ends by surprise, because in deep snow, a silent hunter can win before the prey reaches speed. In these mountains, it also competes for food with foxes, Himalayan wolves, and in the highest zones, even with the snow leopard. However, it avoids unnecessary conflict, moving along discrete routes and hunting at times when other predators may be far away. As an ambush predator, it helps regulate small animal populations and maintains natural tension at the edges of the montane forest. In the cold Himalayan landscape, the Eurasian lynx does not dominate with noise, but with patience, fine hearing, and a presence that disappears before being seen. Among the boulder fields where the air cuts like glass, a small spark of life challenges the immensity of winter. The Himalayan pika, with its rodent-like appearance but rabbit-like soul, is the smallest and most persistent engineer of the heights. Weighing barely 200 grams, this mammal does not hibernate, forcing it into a constant battle against lack of food under the snow. During the summer, it collects and dries vegetation on the rocks, creating vital hay stores for the extreme cold months. It lives in deep crevices of stones, transforming the mineral labyrinth into its bunker against predators patrolling the sky and land. Its position in the food pyramid is critical, being the main sustenance for the snow leopard, the golden eagle, and the Himalayan wolf. The pressure is suffocating. At the shadow of a lynx or a fox, the pika emits a high-frequency whistle before disappearing into the darkness. Only 3 seconds of distraction make the difference between returning to its nest or becoming energy for a hungry hunter. The pika's victory is invisibility, always staying a few meters from its refuge against the roar of the icy wind. It teaches us that in the immensity of the mountains, the smallest life is the pillar that sustains the entire Himalayan ecosystem. on the infinite prairies that stretch under the shadows of 7,000-meter peaks, where the wind combs the short grass, dwells a thick-furred sentinel. The Himalayan marmot is not just a rodent, it is the beating heart of high mountain ecosystems in Asia. With a weight that can reach 9 kilograms, this robust mammal is a master of excavation and social life in the heights. Its life is a race against time, taking advantage of the ephemeral summer to accumulate necessary fat reserves before disappearing underground. During the winter, it dives into a deep sleep for 6 months, reducing its heart rate to resist temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius below zero. While the group feeds on fresh shoots, sentinels stand on their hind legs, scanning the horizon with absolute vigilance. In this biological chessboard, the marmot is a key piece coveted by wolves, snow leopards, and hungry foxes. Every movement, every shadow crossing the sun is analyzed by the sharp eyes of these watchers of the alpine ecosystem. But the most lethal danger usually comes from the deep blue, where the golden eagle patrols with claws ready for impact. A sharp, piercing whistle tears the calm of the meadow, an alarm signal that activates the immediate response of the entire colony. Suddenly, a massive shadow launches from the clouds, descending at over 200 kilometers per hour toward an unsuspecting individual. The air whistles through the eagle's feathers while the marmots dive headfirst into their protective tunnels. Only 3 seconds decide if the marmot reaches the safety of the earth or if it becomes fuel for the predator's next flight. The eagle hits the empty ground with a dull thud, kicking up dust and stones, while the colony remains hidden in the underground labyrinth. The hunter retreats unsuccessfully toward the ridges, but the marmot's vigilance does not decrease. It knows that danger never sleeps in the Himalayas. Its work as a soil architect creates shelters for other small species and aerates the land of alpine grasslands. It is the golden link, transforming the energy of plants into the force that sustains the most powerful carnivores of the range. The unity of the group and the precision of its sonic signals are its only defense in a world designed to consume them. The marmot's existence teaches us that the language of alert is the song of survival in the forbidden heights. Being small does not mean being weak when you have the collective intelligence to build fortresses under eternal cold. The meadow sentinel will continue to watch, a note of vibrant life engraved in the majestic silence of the roof of the world. In the alluvial plains of the low valleys, where the Himalayas cast their eternal shadow over 4-meter-high grasslands, dwells a tank of flesh and bone. The Indian rhinoceros, with a massive weight of up to 2,200 kilograms, is a living fortress protected by thick, folded skin armor. Its most imposing feature is its single horn, a solid keratin spear it uses to defend its territory in foggy swamps. While it dives into the waters to feed on aquatic plants, the rhino creates an image of serene power that contrasts with the agility of the peak predators. Although adults have no natural enemies, vulnerable calves must be protected from the silent ambush of the Bengal tiger stalking among the undergrowth. Faced with any threat, this giant can charge at a surprising speed of 40 kilometers per hour, becoming an unstoppable avalanche of brute force. The Indian rhinoceros reminds us that true strength lies in the endurance of an ancient lineage fighting to preserve its home against the expansion of the modern world. Among the frost-covered branches of temperate forests, where the Himalayan air is a constant whisper among ancient cedars, moves a shadow of ashy fur. The Himalayan grey langur is not an ordinary primate, but a master of the heights challenging the limits of alpine vegetation. Adapted to live at altitudes of up to 4,000 meters, its body is protected by a layer of dense hair that insulates it from temperatures dropping below 0 degrees Celsius. Its survival depends on social structure, living in groups of up to 50 individuals where vigilance is the law of the family. They are natural acrobats, capable of making 10-meter leaps between treetops or navigating steep valleys with agility that defies gravity. In this theatre of shadows, death stalks from below with the Bengal tiger, and from the air with the lightning attack of the golden eagle. A sentinel male always occupies the highest position, scanning the environment with sharp eyes for the silhouette of a clouded leopard hidden among the leaves. A hoarse, rhythmic cry erupts in the air, an alarm signal that stops play and feeding in a fraction of a second. Faced with danger, the troop becomes a burst of grey movement, launching toward the safety of the highest cliffs where no land predator can follow them. The grey langur teaches us that in the wild heart of the mountain, the voice of one is the salvation of all in the endless dance of life. In the frozen steppes of the Tibetan Plateau, at an altitude of 5,000 meters, the air is so thin that only the strongest can breathe. The wild yak is not a simple pack animal. It is a dark-furred colossus that reigns over the ice desert. With a massive weight of 1,000 kilograms, this giant is much larger and more aggressive than its domesticated relatives. Its body is wrapped in a layer of long, dense wool that allows it to withstand extreme temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius below zero. It possesses a large capacity heart and lungs, designed to pump life in places where oxygen is a constant scarcity. Unlike the domestic yak, the wild one is an indomitable storm of muscle that does not accept the presence of man. It survives by feeding on frozen grass and lichens, using its strong hooves to break the ice crust on the ground. The group structure is its shield, a collective defense formation protecting the most vulnerable members of the herd. The Himalayan wolf watches from a distance, looking for an opportunity to separate a calf from the wall of flesh. When predators approach, adults form an impenetrable circle, exposing their sharp horns like war spears. A frontal charge from a 1,000-kilogram alpha male is enough to deter any enemy seeking an easy meal. The struggle is a test of will, where the yak's brute power defeats the desperate hunger of the wolf pack. Defense. Success ensures the new generation can grow to inherit the dominance of the highest mountains. The wild yak teaches us that absolute endurance is the only valid currency in the market of extreme survival. It is the undisputed sovereign of the clouds, a mountain of hair and strength breathing where the earth touches the sky. In the water mirrors the Tibetan plateau at 4,500 meters high. Dawn is dressed in a mystic dance among the mist. The black-necked crane is the only one of its species that has chosen the clouds as its permanent home for breeding and life. With its 1.4-meter high elegance, its white body contrasts with the deep black of its neck and its vibrant red crown. During the breeding season, the wetland's solitude is broken by a choreography of leaps and calls echoing in the sacred valleys. They build their nests on mud islets surrounded by gelid water, seeking a natural barrier against hunters stalking on the shore. A Tibetan fox slides silently, its eyes fixed on the nest, representing the hope of a new generation under the high mountain sun. Detecting the threat, the crane deploys its 2-meter wingspan and launches a war cry that breaks the swamp's peace. Only 3 seconds of confrontation are enough for the predator to retreat before the protective ferocity of these birds that defend their home with their soul. The crane's survival is a reminder of the fragility of Himalayan wetlands, ecosystems that maintain the balance of life in the heights. The crane's spirit teaches us that even the most sublime beauty requires unshakable courage to flourish on the roof of the world. The Himalayas is not just a mountain range, it is a colossus of thin air where the atmosphere runs out and life becomes a sacred challenge. At 6,000 meters high, oxygen decreases by 50%, forcing every lung to work to the limit of its physical possibilities. Winter here is not a season, but a constant 8-month siege where the temperature drops to 40 degrees Celsius below zero. Hurricane-force winds of 150 kilometers per hour sweep the ridges, capable of freezing any trace of animal heat in seconds. Avalanches are the roars of the mountain, tons of snow descending at lethal speeds, erasing paths and nests in their way. In this vertical battlefield, adaptation is the only currency of change to avoid being devoured by the fury of the environment. Animals like the wild yak possess gigantic lungs and blood, rich in hemoglobin to capture every available air molecule. Dense fur and accumulated fat are biological armor against the gelid crystal that perpetually floats in the alpine atmosphere. The constant presence of predators like the snow leopard and the Himalayan wolf molds the iron will of herbivores. The blue sheep and the tahr are forced to climb impossible cliffs to seek refuge where the predator cannot easily follow them. The golden eagle's visual acuity forces marmots to live in deep tunnels, turning the cold earth into their survival bunker. The perfect camouflage of ashy fur is an evolutionary response to disappear in a world dominated by grey rock and white snow. In low areas, the shadow of the Bengal tiger pushes species toward the heights, creating a vertical migration of constant endurance. Only 3 seconds of neglect under a white storm can mean the difference between life and eternal oblivion in the abyss. The Himalayan climate is the great sculptor of life, an implacable judge who only grants the crown to those who know how to resist. Today, the ice giant is crying. The glaciers that have fed Asia for millennia are vanishing under unprecedented heat. The snowline retreats every year, pushing the snow leopard and the blue sheep toward increasingly narrow and hostile peaks. With the disappearance of natural borders, the Bengal tiger ascends to the heights, invading the Himalayan wolf's ancestral territory in fierce competition. Hunger forces large carnivores to descend toward villages, unleashing a bloody conflict with herders defending their livestock. Every meter of ice lost breaks a link in the biological balance, leaving creatures like the red panda without their cloud refuge. Survival no longer depends just on instinct or strength, but on the ability to resist a world that changes faster than evolution. Protecting the Himalayas is ensuring the water flow for billions and saving the last frontier of extreme biodiversity. The future of these living legends is in our hands. Their disappearance would be the most bitter silence in the Earth's history. May the golden eagle's cry and the snow leopard's track remain the essence of the mountains, and not a memory engraved in stone. In the end, only those who respect the mountain's rhythm will be able to inherit the peace of its eternal peaks. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next content. Don't forget to share your opinions through the comments section.